Hello, everybody. It's Gwendolyn here from your virtual admin expert, and welcome to Leading Behind the Scene, your weekly dose of inspiration to equip you to excel in business and life. So, before we dive in, I just want to share with you that the Genius Zone is open for registration. If you have been in business less than 5 years and you are desperately seeking accountability and community, or if you have been praying for some tips on how to create workflows and systems in your business, get some tools and strategies on how to actually get out of doing everything yourself and get some accountability to keep you from being stuck, then I am talking to you. The Genius Zone was created for people just like you. So I encourage you to go over to thegenius-zone.com and sign up today. I personally lead this group of amazing entrepreneurs. And so we want to see you come join us for support. So we have been having so much fun talking about building a business you love with some of my fellow virtual support professionals that we decided to keep it going for a few more weeks. Just imagine getting up every day doing what you believe in and knowing that what you're doing is changing lives. It just sounds pretty amazing, right? But that's what happens when you love your business. And whether you're just starting out or you are in it's complicated relationship with your business, you can still make it happen. But in case you're feeling a little skeptical, stay tuned to this month's success stories that might inspire you. Because today I'm talking to one of my mastermind BFFs, Susan. Say hi, Susan.
Hey.
Susan Elizabeth is a woman of color. She is a Latina, a mom, and the CEO of Operations Made Easy. She started her journey as a side gig while working full time, but little did she know it was going to turn into her passion. And she's now a certified online business manager who loves details, planning, and keeping things on track. Seeing how rapidly women of color are expanding and growing as entrepreneurs, she and her team are dedicated to being the support they need in the back end so they can achieve the level of success they desire. Operations Made Easy is made up of passionate, diverse women who love supporting other passionate, diverse women with the back end of their business. So, Susan, me and you be in the mastermind sessions, like, that's what I'm talking about. Pretty much anytime one of us says something.
We definitely have fun in there.
And I just love being in the mastermind with you ladies. So let's start at the beginning because I have been loving hearing everybody's story about how they got on this entrepreneurial journey. So tell us about this working full time and what made you finally like just take the leap.
Yeah, I was working in education in admissions. I did that for like 8 years and finally decided that hey, I want to start a family. So I had a baby and after only I think I went back to work only 8 weeks after I had her.
Whoa.
Um and pretty much missed the first year of her life because if you think about it, I was getting up, getting ready, dropping her off, going to work, coming out, getting stuck in traffic, picking her up, coming home, half time, dinner time, bedtime. So
Wow.
it was a whole year of that. And, I couldn't take it anymore. I missed her. I, as a planner, I deliberately waited to have a baby. She was completely planned. And the plan was to be a mom. I waited because
Mm.
I wanted to spend time with her. I wanted to be the soccer mom and all that good stuff. So when it wasn't happening, I just thought to myself, something's got to give. I have to do something. So I actually started like just Googling, how can I work from home and still make money? Right? I had no
The
idea.
magic phrase that we all Google.
I had no idea about this online space, like no clue it existed. I didn't even know what a blog was, put it that way.
Wow.
So I actually fell upon a blog and I started reading and it led me to find out more about virtual assistants. I was like, oh, this is interesting, but is this legit? And without hesitation, which is completely opposite of me because I'm a high fact finder, I signed up for like this random course by this teacher mom who did the same thing. I was like, let me see what this is about. And mind you, I was still working. So I signed up for the course, started getting in there, doing it secretly at work, and started joining Facebook groups. I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. And like maybe 2 months later, I got my first client, and then
Nice.
um just started like deep diving into everything I was learning, and getting so consumed. And then I found out about the OBM certification. I was like, ooh, this sounds more like my personality. Signed up for that, completed that. And mind you, this was at the beginning. This journey started in January of 2000. When was my daughter born? This was the beginning of 2019, January 2019.
Oh, wow.
By July, I quit my job in June of 2019. In
Six
6 months.
months?
Months. All that happened in 6 months.
Holy cow.
Got my first like high paying client in October of that year, because I said, if I'm gonna do this, I need to go all in, and work is getting in my way.
In your way. Work was in
In
your
my
way.
way. I need more time. So I saved up for 3 months, quit, and
Oh my God.
gave myself like a cushion, and said, okay, if this doesn't work in the next 3 months, I'll just find another job. Got my first client by October of 2019. I never looked back.
Oh my God. Okay, so this is amazing. So 6 months, you have to tell us, what did you do in those 6 months? So we know that you went all in on like finding training and resources. Like, what else were you doing in terms of like searching for clients and putting yourself out there? Like, what were you doing?
I joined a bunch of Facebook groups. I started networking, talking to people. Um, I finished that course quickly. Then I did the OBM course quickly. And the nice thing is that with the OBM certification, you're put into like this directory. So I started finding clients
Oh,
that way.
nice.
Just like kept networking and putting myself out there. And like I said, joining Facebook groups, and really not sleeping, because between having a full-time job, having a 1-year-old, having a
Yes.
household, cooking and cleaning, and still trying to be a good girlfriend, and
Yep.
do this on the side. Yeah, needless to say, I wasn't sleeping.
All the things.
All the
Oh
things
my
in six
God.
months.
That is amazing. So when did you decide? Like, what was the defining moment? Because your journey has been like super fast. Because we're just in like 21. We just got into 21. So your journey was like super fast. So when did you realize that I have to go from like really just building a business to building something that I love and that can support the way that I want to live? Because again, we know that going all in and first starting out, it still requires a lot of time, but you had a goal of like really spending more time with your daughter. So what was that defining moment for you when you were like, okay, I'm still kind of swamped, so now I need to pivot?
Yeah, I think that the summer of last year, 2020, I felt I felt like I was in a rut. I didn't feel like
Mm,
myself. And I didn't know what it was.
mm,
And I went through like the whole month of July just feeling like, right? And I knew I had to get out of that funk.
yeah.
So in August, things completely just took, like, I was still networking and doing all the things. August of last year, things just took off. And
Wow.
when I spoke to Tasha, our coach, I had just finished booked and balance with her. I was about to sign on for a second round, but I had just got to full capacity personally. I was still a one woman show the last summer, a one woman show. In August, I got capped out, but I still had inquiries coming in, and I'm like, I don't want to turn this down, but like I can't do this by
Yes.
myself. And plus, I really started loving what I was doing. It wasn't just about the money anymore.
Hmm.
Honestly, I just love what I do. And that's when I started gaining the traction of who I wanted to serve. I didn't
That's
want
good.
to turn down those potential clients, even though I was maxed out. And I said, I if I could technically probably, bring them on, but then that's going to contradict why I'm doing this in the first place, was
In
to
the
spend
first
more time
place.
with my daughter.
Yes.
So what did I do? I started a team and took those clients.
Yes. And then we all joined Tasha's program because we were like, now we have all the things and more people. Like we have more clients and more people to manage. So help us, please.
Yeah. How do
What are
I
we doing?
manage this? What am I doing? I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I never led a team like this before. I've never been the boss.
Oh my gosh. And it's such a different thing, right? Because we're all learning that to go from being like kind of this implementer, integrator in our own businesses to really being the CEO. And it's like,
Weird.
you feel like you're on a teeter totter most of the darn time. Because I'm like, Tasha, listen, you make this look easy, but I think you're lying to me.
It's been, yeah, I would say it's like it's been tug and pull because I want to be the one,
Yes.
but I can't be the one.
No, not and grow at the same time. So, what do you love most about your business?
I love my team. I do. The women that are on my team make things so much easier. I was scared because, when you get on those discovery calls and the client was like, "Oh, I thought I was going to work with you, but I want to work with you. I want to work with you because I like the way that you think. I like what you're saying." Da, 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 da." So I'm like, where am I going to find someone who thinks like me, who will make the client as happy as me?
Yes.
Where am I gonna find where am I gonna find my replica? Like there's no way. So I've been blessed and lucky to be able to find those type of women.
That's
And that's what
amazing.
makes it easier for me, where I know that after I have my onboarding call with the client and I assign them to one of the OBMs, I let them fly. I am not involved.
That's good. That's so
And it's
good. And
like,
that's so
whew.
important, which
And then to
makes your job a
hear,
lot easier.
yeah, and then I do check-ins with the clients and to hear like, I love this person. I don't know what I was doing without her. Like, oh, thank you. That's a representation of me.
Yes, absolutely. And that is so crucial for our teams, right? Because now we're moving from being the one doing it to teaching people like, okay, this is what the brand is about. This is how I built my business. Like these are the values I built it on. Even though we're growing, that still has to remain. Like we can't start sacrificing client care and the quality of service just because we want to get bigger. And I think that's a lot of a fear for a lot of people too, is like, but I'm not going to be the one, right? Well, we're learning you don't have to be the one. You just have to find great people who share your same passion and your same values to help you get it done. And so that's really part of the key. So I have to ask, what do you love least about your business?
Oh God. I think something that we all of us hate is the marketing piece, the visibility, like putting ourselves out there because now we're the ones who have to bring in the clients to
Yep.
keep our
To
subcontractors
keep people
work.
fed, yes.
Market. Oh
And I think we have a question about marketing probably every week in our mastermind because we're like, how did you do? What did you do? How did we do this? Like, what are we doing? And there's like a big difference because who was I talking to when Nicole and I were talking? And that's because I don't have my DOO just
God.
yet, like a lot of you ladies. I think you and I are the ones that didn't have our person
Yeah,
before.
yeah, yeah.
And I was talking to Nicole, and she was like, "Well, how have you been managing without that person?" And I was like, "Well, you have to remember this is what I did for 2 decades. So it's very easy. It's
It's
not
what I do.
hard." But
Yeah.
the key thing was I wasn't having to do all the admin operation stuff and the marketing and the selling and the discovery calls and managing the team and going on podcasts and writing. Like I didn't have to do all the other pieces when I was doing it. That's the part that is overwhelming. And that's why we have to have a support community, a team, so that we can do all of those things. So if you're thinking about building a business and building one that you love, you're not going to be able to do it alone. I just want people to know that, like, you
Absolutely.
cannot do it alone. None of us are doing it alone. You might see our faces and hear our voices all the time. But trust and believe there are people in the background that are supporting us, that are doing the work, that are making sure that we look very, very good. So
Absolutely.
you cannot do it alone if you want to build something that you love and build something that's sustainable. That's the thing. So, what would you say to that entrepreneur, or better yet, to that mom who is struggling to go for it, to take the leap, to build something that they love? What would you say to them?
Oh, trust your gut. Trust your gut. Because had I not, I probably will still be working in admissions,
Mm,
not seeing my baby, and not living the life that I want to live. Just trust your gut.
yeah.
And then number two, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Had I not bought that course and tried to like navigate through this on my own, there's
Yeah.
no way I would be where I am today. No way. You can
Right.
try to wing it, but you can only get so far.
So
And
far.
I think the reason for my rapid growth is because I do invest in myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Because that's amazing. Like I love the fact that you just kind of took off, but you invested at the very beginning,
From
which
day
is something
one.
many of us that come into this field don't do until much later on down the line. So Susan just gave us like a real hack right now that I hope you guys are listening to and taking heed, that you need to invest on the front side and don't wait so long to do it by yourself before you get some support. So, absolutely. So, Susan, thank you so much for sharing today and for saying yes to coming on the
Of course.
show. Absolutely appreciate it. Beautiful people, thank you so much for joining us. Remember, it's possible to build a business that you love. So if you have an idea that can solve a problem, go for it. If you have a strong why you want to take the leap like Susan did, stop passing your children's off on the people and not seeing them, then go for it. Build that business. Hit like, hit share. We want to hear your takeaways. If you have questions, experience, leave them in the comments. We love hearing from you. And be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Your Admin Expert, and subscribe to the email list on the website at yourvirtualadminexpert.com. Susan, how can people connect with you?
Yes. So it's funny because I since I pivoted, I changed everything, but on Instagram, hey, like hey, Susan Elizabeth. And the website is operations-madeeasy.com.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And